What's up, everyone? It's Russo. I hope everyone is doing well. Welcome back to another episode of Russo RR, and I'm turning on the damn AC in here. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's the sauna city.
But today, we got the Trackhawk back. Nima retuned it, and I was going to have Dante do some hits and put me in the shotgun seat, and I'm going to do some hits right now, and we're just going to get our candid reactions. You know, this Trackhawk is built to make 1,000 horsepower. We have it tuned down right now because if you watch a previous video, which I'll have Dante put a card up, basically, like, the engine's built. This is a 7-liter stroker Trackhawk, but the intake temps are literally hot garbage, like insanely bad intake temps. I was just on the phone with Nima today because I want to get all this shit corrected because, you know, I bought the Trackhawk to fucking, you know, get the Trackhawk feel out of it, right? You know, 7-liter stroker. I want to hear the 7-liter stroker. So, with that being said, it's just like, why are you going to waste all the money to build the motor and not cool the motor so it can actually make the amount of power? So, I was just on the phone with Nima today, and basically we're going to do a top myth supercharger plate, killer chiller, heat exchanger, and then we'll turn up the power after that. So right now this is probably the slowest it's ever gonna be, so it's only gonna get crazier after this. But yeah, if you haven't watched that video, I'm not trying to bullshit anyone that's saying that this is making 1,000 right now. Realistically, it's built to make 1,000. Dante, pull the pulley out of the, like, watch the, yeah, I got the pulley to make 1,000, but right now it's not making 1,000. We're not going to put that pulley on until, you know, the engine can actually be happy. And I actually have the oil catch can back there. So, you know, today we're just going to enjoy and do a couple test pulls and just see what I think. So, once again, this is probably making around 800-ish. So, this is making like almost what a stage 2 normal Trackhawk would make, let alone the stroker motor. So we're gonna do, let's do a 3rd gear hit.
Ready?
Alright, so this is a 1st gear hit. The 1st gear, it just gets out the hole. I mean, god damn.
Feels like we're in the Phantom's Revenge out in Kenny.
Yeah, it does feel like a roller coaster ride. Jeez.
Not too shabby if I do say so myself.
I guess I'm like fucking. Alright, so that was the 1st gear out the hole with me manually shifting. Now, for some reason, they tuned it to where I have to hit both the left and the right to shift. So that's why I'm not manually shifting it. It's so annoying to hit both of them at the same time, and I'm afraid that I'll hit one sooner than the other and then fucking hurt my motor. So this is just going to be an automatic launch onto the highway. So this is 4th gear. First is definitely like the amusement park ride feel, but as far as 4th, like, it feels to my ass like a 600-ish horsepower car. So if my butt dyno's reading correctly, like with a normal car, that'd be around like, you know, 600 is how it feels on my ass. But overall, super, super crazy that we are in a full-size Jeep Grand Cherokee and are able to do these crazy things. So we're gonna go out to a different spot that's way less busy, and I'm gonna let Dante do some hits in it.
Drinking water in hyperspace.
I just love that you don't have to like romp on this car and it still sounds crazy. Like, you still hear the supercharger whine, just cruising along. Like, it's not like with the turbo cars I have where you have to like really go into boost to hear it. Like, you can just, that's just like 5% throttle and you're just like, that's just crazy with this fucking turret signal going.
So much smoother now too.
Yeah, the new tune, it's so much happier, and he's already writing transmission tunes, so it'll shift even better. He's gonna manually put in the shift points, but it just seems overall happier. Like,
I don't feel like the little heavy jolts.
Yeah. Like when me and Dante first got it, we're like jerking around the whole time. And you saw how many error codes, if you watched, you know, the previous video, how many error codes were on the TCM. So you can't half-ass a build like this. It's just as simple as that. If you're gonna spend all this money, do a 7-liter stroker kit in a Trackhawk. Like, first off, you might as well coal the damn thing, right? Isn't the whole point of having the bigger motor for it to make more power than the smaller motor it comes with out of the factory? Like, the way this thing is, it's making the same power as the regular 6.2 liter Hemi.
What was that one?
That was the first gear dig. We were like, all 4 tires burned off right there. Alright, so I've had my fun. I mean, you know, I have more experience, honestly, getting the shotgun experience. So I did turn the traction control off, so we'll see how Dante deals with 800 horses with no traction control. But
We'll see what happens. If
I do have this car insured, so I did put on the insurance this weekend. No more temp insurance. It's good to go. Alright, so we're going to switch seats. I'm more excited to get the shotgun experience. Honestly, I've driven this car the most, and, you know, my girlfriend's terrified to actually floor it, so I'm going to actually get the shotgun experience. It's going to be from Dante or Nima driving me around in it, because that's pretty much the only people I'm going to let drive this thing. Alright, Dante, so what's the fastest car you've ever driven?
For speed, definitely your old Charger.
So for those who are new to my channel, I had a 2013 Charger Police Pursuit that had long tubes and just a tune, made around 405 crank. So this has double the crank horsepower, but it is a heavier car.
Well, like, I've driven this one, like that one time when we were taking your bike to the shop, but stopping the traffic, so.
And that was on the shitty, that was like when it was all fucked up, yeah. That was when it was all fucked up. Well, we can see Dante did not want to keep it pinned to the floor, so we're gonna have
got a little overzealous there for a second.
We're gonna have to put him on the highway ramp and have him pin it. This car is no joke. Like, you're coming from a dude, like, I ride a Ducati V4S. I've had 600 horsepower Audi S3. Like, my brain, like, with speed is kind of broken. Like, this thing's crazy for the weight it is.
Yeah, I felt that traction too. I was like, it kind of like all just went to my head.
Yeah, it did a 4-wheel burnout. Like,
I'm just not used to it. I drive a 2013 Dodge Avenger. Okay, that's nothing compared to this shit.
Well, that's the whole point. I think it's fucking hilarious.
I know.
But yeah, it does, like, in first gear, it spins all 4 tires at 800 horsepower. So that's let alone.
And you feel it. Let me tell you, you feel it.
It gets squirrely and shit. All you gotta do is point at where you want to go and keep it floored, and it'll eventually grip. But
yeah,
I definitely think I'll look into better tires once these are done. Nima hates these tires. These are some Pirelli garbage tire. But, you know, moving forward, I think I'll put some Michelins on here.
But boy, does she purr.
Yeah, the shotgun experience, like I'm actually pinned back in the seat shotgun. Where like driving, I don't really. I mean, I notice it, but not that much. Shotgun's dramatic.
I feel like you're just so in control when you're driving.
Yeah,
you're not letting the car take control of you.
Yeah, it's more fun in the shotgun seat. So Dante, like now that you've been like driving it, he's just like cruising and getting used to it. Like you've had the experience of driving it before and after NEMA tuned it. Like it's a lot easier to drive, right?
I'd say so. I mean, like I said before, last time I drove it, it was a lot of stop and go traffic. But going the same speed usually, like I don't feel the jitters, the jerks like I used to. Like every time I used to brake, it would be like, dum, 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 and now I just like, it's just so much smoother.
Yeah, so this has a custom camshaft in it, so, you know, you have to take into consideration that, you know, the transmission doesn't know the custom camshaft's there, so we're working that out. I really want to get this thing, like, after me and Dante beat on it, like, it's heat soaked. It's not going to even make close to 800 horsepower, and honestly, by the time Dante even got in the driver's seat, it's probably making even less power than the first couple hits I did. So the big thing with these Hemis is to keep them cool. I don't understand why this build was half-assed to a point where it's pulling so much timing that it's just not even making close to the power it should be making. So me and NEMA drew out a game plan, and hopefully next year we're going to have it reliably, in quotation marks, making 1,200 horsepower.
I think going on these back roads really just kind of like, in my head, like I don't want to go too fast for too long.
You're also like in this giant ass SUV, and you're just like kind of like, what the fuck?
I mean, I felt like I handled that one a little better than the first one.
Alright, so now we're gonna have Dante do like a 0 to highway speed pull where he can coast after and not cook my brakes any more than they're already cooked.
Yeah, so we'll get there soon.
Dude, I'm like super excited, honestly.
Fucking hands are getting clammy now. Looks pretty.
The shotgun experience is so much better than driving it. I mean, all right, so he's gonna stop. This is a nice on ramp, super safe, and he's gonna stop at 0 and give it the beat.
You can go right here.
No, stop at 0. All right.
3, 2, 1. That was a little overwhelming for a little bit. Call me a pussy all you want. If you're not handling
that is so much more fun in shotgun than actually driving. It's like you just like forget you're in the SUV. Like this is like some big ass fucking truck thing. Like absolutely bonkers. My God.
That's probably what I would feel like every time you just do that.
Yeah.
It's like Ryan's a kid in a candy store sitting.
That was great.
That's why I drive the S3 for it.
Yeah, when you drive the S3, then you'll really not be able to floor it. My S3, when it's done, is going to have about the same power as this when it's done. And my this weighs like, what, like 6,000 pounds?
Probably.
My S3 weighs 3,000 pounds and the same amount of power.
I did feel like this has a lot of control with it too.
Yeah, do you like, since you're not like an experienced like enthusiast driver, like you felt pretty comfortable with like the 4-wheel drive saving you, because like with a Hellcat, only the rear-wheel drives are gonna spin, and like that's a real easy way to fuck up and wreck. Whereas this is like all 4 wheels are engaged.
It was like a slight turn, and I was like, in my head, I was kind of panicking a little bit, just like, oh, how am I gonna turn? Then I just realized that if I turn a little bit swiftly, this has a lot of like control with the vehicle. Like I just felt in control when I turned. Like I didn't feel like I was gonna like flip or roll or miss the turn.
Yeah, so this has a full B Woody suspension, which in my opinion right now, like this video, it's not dialed. It's not dialed. It does corner flat. I'll say it like that. You know, it corners flatter than. My friend had a stock Trackhawk, which what made me want to buy a Trackhawk was my friend Nate. He had a stock Trackhawk, took me in a ride in it, and I just love like the violence. Like when Dante floors it, there's just straight violence that comes immediately after. Where my turbo cars, you're like, wait for the boost, boom, then the power. Like this is just like straight violence, like right out the gates. So, you know, that's what really drew me towards this Trackhawk. But as far as the handling of his stock Trackhawk went, it was like, it really rolled around in the corners. Like, it was definitely terrifying to take into corners. This has a full suspension package, rear and front sway bars. And the corner's flatter, but it doesn't corner like my X5M. No offense, my X5M, I was real comfortable at taking corners at 120, 130 miles an hour. This thing, I wouldn't cook through corners that hot. Maybe when Nima dials the suspension, I'll get frisky, but this definitely is a bigger SUV. So I hope you guys enjoyed me and Dante's just initial impressions. Like I said, this is the slowest the Trackhawk will be on the channel. We're only going to make it faster, and like I said, don't half-ass a build like this. Like I got into this build, it's half-assed, and I'm ending up having to fix things that should have been, you know, done in the first place. But I really like that I didn't have to spend $40,000 building this motor though, so that's a perk. But
and you also really just forget how fast you go sometimes. It's so smooth.
Yeah, so this has an 8-speed transmission, so like Dante went through I think 4 or 5 gears, so super smooth. And Dante probably looked down and saw a big number on the speedometer.
And I was like, oh.
Started panicking a little,
but this is the worst it's ever gonna get.
Yeah, it's only getting better from here. And like I said, maybe we'll do a video in the Audi of Dante romping on the Audi. That'll be, if Dante can keep the Audi, keep the pedal to the floor, that'll be some ballsy shit, because the Audi's gonna blow everyone away. So I'll see you guys in my next video.
Peace.